Why is that? Why is that important? Fuck Kim Kardashian. In the butt with scissors.
Kim is ugly.
I feel that on a soul level. Um. All right. So we are used. Raphael, read the first paragraph, please.
We are used to being spoon-fed everything. You want me to read the rest?
Yeah. Go ahead and just read the rest.
Everything is too convenient for our generation. Our parents are not the only ones at fault in this situation. Society is the culprit as well. We understand that our parents want to give us the life they never had, but that may just be the problem. We have been coddled from birth in this perfect bubble where we get what we want when we want. It's time we wake up and realize that the real world doesn't spoon feed anyone. It's a rough place, and once you leave the confines of your college dorm or your parents' home, you will have a rough adjustment if you think everything is going to be as easy as living at home.
I fucking can't stand this argument in whole. And the reason I picked this is because I was like, all right, so the show's going in a repetitive direction of feminism, so it's time to tackle something else. So let's talk about an interesting subject like fucking old people and their constant need to remind us that this generation is soft, this generation isn't good enough, and it's like it seems utterly bitter. For instance, people like to complain about like kids are growing up with tablets. Back in my day, we didn't have tablets. We went outside and we played toys. Here's the actual evolution. When I was a kid, I would always be fucking playing video games and playing toys, and my mom would try to make me go outside. And the only time I went outside is when my mom was like, "You have to go outside." And before that, what people did was they were just fucking outside playing with whatever the fuck they could find, playing with fucking guns, like toy guns and shit, playing with fucking Barbies. It was just a play toy type of thing before video games became more popularized. And by each generation, you could feel like a little bit of fucking salt coming. Like the generation before me was like, you should go outside more, and then now my generation is like, the people growing up, they should they should get off their tablet and not have to rely on it so much. And the generation before the generation judging me was all like, oh, we fucking played with sticks. So it's constant complaining, and it just seems like a cycle. So rather than trying to barricade kids from what the fucking world is becoming, we should be happy, and we should let these kids get used to how the world is becoming, because it's a technology world. So that's just my thoughts on that. As far as being spoon fed everything, we aren't spoon fed everything because people like it easy. We like speed, and whatever we can get the fastest, we're gonna get. If the generation before us would have had the same things we have, they would have acted the same exact way. It's not this generation thinks like this. It's like humans want speed. That's why humans went away from the TV and they now go on their phone to figure out like if school's closed. That's why humans didn't fucking wait for the sun to turn down when they decided it was night and day. They started using time because it's all about speed with humans. That's fucking human nature. So it's not being spoon fed everything. It's that people genuinely like time. Whatever. That's why we try to sell speed to people, not just products. Next paragraph, Jay. Or not Jay. Rafi.
Don't mess up my name again. We seek recognition for the dumbest things.
What are your thoughts on that, Raphael?
I'm not done. There has never been an attention-thirsty generation quite like this. From elementary school, we had our teachers and parents kissing our asses. Nice. Wait, I never had that happen with my teachers, but okay.
Yeah, it never really
And
happened.
rewarding us, except for Mr. Rebow, you know, he was the homie. Rewarding us for every minor thing that we did. Do well on a test. Here's a sticker. Good report card. Parents buy us a gift. This reward system has caused us to seek attention for everything that we do. That's a lie. Can't tell you how many times I never got a sticker for doing well on a test.
Yeah, exactly.
Now no task can be done without our seeking some sort of reward for it. For example, even when we do tasks that are normally required of us at work or in our everyday lives, we seek recognition. Our mentality when it comes to this issue needs to be changed, as people need to realize that they do not need attention for everything that they do. Honestly, it's getting a little ridiculous. Do you think the baby boomer generation got to where they are today by always yearning for attention and recognition? Oh
All
no.
right. So I have never been. What the fuck? Fuck this notification about Trump in the White House. I have never been. I've never been a good student. I'm not. I'm not. My DNA doesn't work in a way where I'm a good student. I'm not meant to be a good student. I'm not meant to be an A student. I'm not to be a student that impresses the teacher. But when I was growing up, the one thing that I really loved about turning in shit and getting a good grade when I did it when it happened, and it happened very rarely, but when it happened, the thing that I enjoyed the most is that fucking sticker that said good job, or that smiley face that said good job. Reason being is because I'm a little kid and I like animated shit. I'm like, wow, I did a good job, so I get a sticker. It's reward. It shows if you work hard enough, you get reward. You don't get a reward system for everything, but it just seems kind of salty. It's not like I'm not a kid getting a sticker, so I'm like, oh, I'm getting a sticker, so now I got attention, so I'm gonna go seek attention for everything I get. I'm just a kid getting a fucking smiley face on my paper because I did a good job. Like, it's not that big of a deal. So you do good on your report card and your parents get you a present. What the fuck is bad about that? Why are you complaining just because when you were growing up your parents didn't get you shit? Do you think you turned out as a fucking awesome human being? No, this generation sucks, but people like me, we turned out great. We get to write articles on the internet and complain about people who are younger than us. We're the ones that really turned out amazing. Doesn't really make much logical sense to me. You want to talk about reward, then there's nothing to it. Reward isn't the same thing as attention. People naturally seek attention. When people are growing, when people are babies, they want people near them because it warms their heart. People like having people around them. That's not a bad thing. That's not people are thirsty for attention, so they go out and work for it. It just needs to be taught. Like, people just need to be taught how to control that. It doesn't like, it's not just like an insanely bad thing that human beings want attention. There's nothing bad about that. There's nothing that's going to destroy people because they want attention. How is that remotely a bad thing? I could see, no, let me step back. I could see it becoming a bad thing when it becomes like all of your happiness comes from attention. It has to be taught over time to settle down. But people like attention, and there's not something at the core wrong with that. Especially when they're little ass kids. Raphael, you ready to read these next paragraph, bud?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got you. They expect to work 9 to 5 and become successful. I mean, success doesn't really have a definition for everyone. Success is just basically if you're happy with where you're at in life, then I'd say you're successful. And if you're working 9 to 5 in life and you're successful, then okay, cool. So it says a big misconception in this generation is the idea that getting rich quick is actually a feasible feat. This great misconception is a driving force in today's generation, and it is our job to bring a change to this way of thinking. Becoming successful is going to take time and effort. Nothing comes easy in this world. I agree.
I'm already mad.
You want to say anything, Rafi?
No, I'm gonna let you finish.
Alright. If you truly want to become successful, you are going to have to go beyond the call of duty in order to show people that you are willing to do whatever it takes to achieve your goals. If you want to work a 9 to 5, go work at Starbucks or the post office. But if you truly want to make anything of yourself, you're going to need to understand that a 9 to 5 mentality is going to get you nowhere. Raphael, you have a comment?
Which Call of Duty?
World at War.
Okay, but let me reread this real quick. Becoming successful is going to take time and effort. Nothing comes easy in this world. How many times have I been taught that? In like every single grade?
A lot.
Exactly.
So it is enforced already to an extent.
It is.
Overly enforced. Because I think when people are trying to influence, they become very oblivious to the idea that you could really annoy fucking people. I'm conscious of that when I'm trying to get a point across. And this, kids aren't really listening to this because they are just annoyed that people are trying to come up to them and tell them everything that is wrong with the way that they know the world, and everything is wrong with the way that they interact, and everything is wrong with what they're doing. I mean, if you actually think there's a problem with the way children work, you gotta put in the effort to influence them. You're not just gonna, if I want to change someone's mind, I'm not gonna go and just say you're wrong because the minute I say someone's wrong, they get offended. It's more than that. Changing minds takes more effort.
Wait.
But
Why do they just think everybody has a 9 to 5 mentality?
I don't know.
Because even if you do work 9 to 5, who knows how many times you work in that week?
Right. I mean, it's also, what do you do when you come home? What do you do with that money? Like, what's that? I don't know.
It's fucking stupid.
We get offended when someone criticizes us with the intention of helping us improve as human beings. I have never witnessed a softer generation in my life. Our generation has to be one of the most pampered and whiny generations in history. This extends all the way to the manner in which people take criticism. It is possible to give constructive criticism to people in our generation, as we all think that we have the answers to everything. If someone who has been through a certain experience is trying to help you go through a similar one, it is imperative that we listen to him, as he has our best interest in mind. Put your ego to the side and take advice. You do not have to listen word for word, but he will bring up some useful points to help you improve your situation. I think that's just an all-around thing, is people can't take criticism. That's not just a us generation thing. The generation before us couldn't take criticism either. They were equally as horrible at it. It's not like they were any better at taking criticism. I think he's making some valid points whilst giving his generation way too much credit, saying that they are more than they actually are in all reality. All right. Take this one, Raphael.
We feel a sense of entitlement, as if the world owes us something for being alive. Bullshit. The biggest difference between our generation and the generations before us is that we were raised in a time when this country was thriving economically. In those times, we were given whatever we wanted whenever we wanted. Bringing up that point again. This has led to a sense of entitlement with everything that we do. Now that we are in a recession and times are difficult economically, it is hard for us to understand that we can't get everything that we want. This also translates to the manner in which we look for jobs and our work ethic when we get those jobs. In a highly competitive world, we are going to get nowhere thinking the world owes us anything. In order to differentiate yourself from the crowd, you are going to have to show something different in your work ethic. We are the most judged generation, and the older folks don't expect much from us. Prove them wrong with your work ethic and show them that you know the world is yours, but it doesn't owe you anything.
So I guess the point is, like, it's a debatable point, and if you bring it up, I can see where you're coming from, and I think if someone brought this up to me, we could have a nice conversation. But the way he's laying out the article is he's saying 10 reasons why this generation is soft. And it's like, he says 10 reasons, well, all of it goes to one reason, which is like right under here where he says in the next heading, we always look for the easy way out. Debatable, maybe we can have a conversation about that and come to terms. But it like when I read your article, it all seems repetitive. So it's a flawed article in the way that